Hello everyone, it is December 2nd, 2025. It's Tuesday. It's Harp Tuesday! Welcome to this week's episode. So today I'm still recovering from jet lag a bit. I just got back from a European tour on Friday. But I wanted to do just a short episode with a little exercise you can do to try and listen for and perhaps improve your ability to play chords with a very sustained legato sound. And specifically, repeated chords. So this is something on the harp, of course, that every time we come back to a string we've just played, we stop it, right? We muffle it. Because in order to play it, we have to place on it first. And yet, with practice, you can end up having that point in time between not touching the string and placing and then playing can be quite a small amount of time. And I would stress, by the way, that this is not an exercise, I think, if you are fairly new to the harp. In which case, I would be focused on just learning the basics and trying to make sure you do place in advance. You get used to finding the strings and feeling comfortable on them. But as you get more experienced, you can work on this idea of what sort of sustained sound can you get by waiting as long as possible to place, or in this case, to replace. So here, I'm on a pedal harp, so I'm in C flat, just for the sort of open string sound. And I'm playing a fifth in the left hand, C and G, and a third in the right hand, C and E. But what I'm playing is not so important, it's just that I'm going to keep repeating them. And so, of course, if I go like this, we hear that stopped sound. It's not a super staccato sound, which it would be if I replaced really early. But it's still kind of a detached, dry, semi-staccato sound, which in some cases is maybe what you want. But for the point of this exercise, we're going to try and have that sound ring as long as possible before we start the next chord. We can also think about an attack that's not particularly harsh. We want, again, a very sustained sound, almost imagining the sound crescendos after we've played it. So we're just repeating these chords and listening. So the trick, as it were, is to try and get the fingers in position, but not quite on the string. So if we go like this, and then we have to find everything from here quickly, it's harder than if we get in position a little bit early. And I took some slow motion footage, and you'll really see there, I think, how for example, it's quite clear in the right hand second finger, how the second finger gets very, very close to the string, but not quite on it until the very last minute. And of course, we still want a good sound. We don't want a thin sound. We still want to be preparing on the string. I feel one of the secrets to good sound is squeezing, preparing the note, the string, before we play it. And so even though we're not trying to take much time at all on the string, we still have to prepare. We still have to take a moment to prepare that string before playing. And so the trick is, how can we do that in a very short amount of time? So just trying this exercise of repeating and trying to get as sustained a sound as possible. Of course, it's harder if we move down to bigger strings. Easier if we maybe just do one finger. Harder if we do a big 8-note chord. So I think it actually, it may look fairly simple, but I actually think takes quite a lot of time and practice for the fingers to start to know exactly how to do that. Again, the timing, the placement, the way to replace on a ringing string and not have it sound bad, as it were. So I think this is something that comes in many ways through time and through your own ear. And again, you don't want to be scared of the string. Of course, we have to stop it as we place, and we don't want to be sort of like this, getting a very thin sound because I'm barely grabbing the string. I still want to be able to prepare. And you can see in the slow motion footage, I think, that I really am preparing that string, and yet at the same time have it happen in a small window of time. So kind of an interesting exercise to try, I think, and one way to maybe work a little bit on sound as well as that sort of legato ability on these repeated chords, which is not so easy on the harp. So hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you soon for another episode of Harp Tuesday. Cheers.